Children, let us begin with the chapter Mineral and Energy Resources Part 2, chapter number 9. Now in this chapter, we are going to learn about the conventional and the non-conventional sources of energy and how important a source of energy is for the development of the country and to increase the standard of living of people. Now conventional sources of the energy, they are the one which when exhausted, it cannot be made again, like coal, petroleum. Then these feature of the conventional sources, it include that it is exhaustible. When burned, it causes pollution because they emit smoke and ash, and they are very expensive to be maintained, stored and then transmitted. Now energy resources, the use began after the industrial revolution it took place, but now the century that we are living in, it has seen the adverse effect like the global warming, depleting of the mineral resources, then the emission of the carbon. The first of the topic we'll cover is the coal. Now where the origin of the coal is concerned, you are already aware that with the passage of the time, the organic and the inorganic substances, they lie deep within the earth. The passage of the time, the increased pressure and the heat, they decompose all of these material, leading to the formation of the coal. Now where the types of the coal they are concerned, the first one that we have is the anthracite. Now all the features that is mentioned of the various type of the coal, you will have to go through it, you will have to learn it. Questions can be framed from any of the features that is given there. The first one, anthracite, it is the best quality of the coal and it contains 80% of the carbon. It is hard, compact, and the state that it is found in, that is Jammu and Kashmir. Add one more feature over here, that it is used for the domestic consumption, simply for the reason that it is the best quality of the coal and the emissions given out, the smoke and ash, that is less. The next one we have the bituminous coal. Add one feature over here, that it is used as the industrial coal or as the for the industrial consumption. Now this is also the best variety, but compared to the anthracite, it has got 60 to 80% of the carbon in it. So its calorific value, the burning value is very high. Then it is mainly used for the heating or the steam raising and production of the coke. The regions found over here, that is Jharkhand, Orissa, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh. Then we have lignite. Now lignite is also known as the brown coal and it is of the inferior quality. It is quite friable in nature. It contains high amount of the moisture, so the smoke and the ash, the emissions, they are very high. It is found in the state of Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu. The regions given over here, you would have to learn it by heart, alright, and as it is mentioned in the book, the same order you should be learning. At last we have peat. Now this is the most inferior quality of the coal and it is the first stage of the transformation that takes place from wood to the coal. It contains 50 to 60% of the carbon. And in India, it is found in the region of Jharkhand and Orissa. Distribution map is given, the slide here in front of you. Now, North and South India division is given and accordingly you would have to learn. And say for example, like first of the state given is West Bengal, then Raniganj, Purlia, Bankura, Bardhaman. This is how you are going to learn it. And the largest producer, that is in variation, alright, the largest producer in India is Jharkhand, Orissa, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Learn the states, largest, the largest, along with their regions given. Now where the use is concerned, that is basically used for the generation of power, like to run down the engine, the coal-based engine, steam-based engine. Then the demand for the coal, it has reduced down because of the electrification that has taken place of the trains, of the railways. For this reason, the coal demand, it has gone down. But where the distribution that is concerned, we have got two mines here in India. One is the Gondwana coal field, the another one that is the tertiary coal field. Now where the Gondwana coal fields they are concerned, they are the oldest coal fields of India. And the states of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, they fall into the Gondwana coalfields. Now, where the tertiary coalfields are concerned, they are new information, and the inferior quality of the coal is found over here, where the carbon content is less and poor quality of the coal is found. Now, they are found in the region of Rasai in Kashmir, Lakhimpur in Assam, Namchik in Arunachal Pradesh. So, rest of the regions also you go through and learn in a proper manner. Where the advantages they are concerned of the coal energy, it is the primary source of the energy all throughout the whole world. It is cheap, so it can be afforded very easily. It has the high calorific value, so it is easy to burn. Absolutely no dependence on the climatic conditions, and it is versatile. It has too many of the uses, like can be used for generating the electricity, even the byproducts that is also used. Then it reduces the dependence on the oil, and as compared to the nuclear source of the energy, it is much safer to use. Now, where the disadvantages of the coal energy is concerned, the burning of it leads to the pollution, emission of the carbon dioxide and the sulfuric acid, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, then may lead to the acid rainfall in the areas where the coal mining impact is concerned. Wherever the coal mines they are located, the whole landscape, the whole area, it gets destroyed. Forest, it gets destroyed. Then transportation of the coal, it requires to lay down the lines for the railways or for the roadways. So building the infrastructure, it would also destroy the landscape, no doubt, and then the increase of the pollution that would also take place. Then to go down into the mine, it has a huge impact on the miner's health, and it is very unsafe. The mines can catch fire any of the time. The explosions, it could be there any of the time. So there is a huge risk the miners they face when they go down into the extraction of the mineral. Then they can be affected by the lung cancer. Now, it is the non-renewable source of energy. It is widely present in the country, but it is also depleting out very fast. So we need to find out such safer and renewable alternatives to these sources of the energy. Now, next we have petroleum, or otherwise also known as the mineral oil. Petrol meaning rock and oleum means oil, and it is found majorly in the beds of sedimentary rocks of the earth, so it is also known as the mineral oil. It is mostly composed of the hydrocarbons, 90 to 95% of petroleum, and the remaining other compounds containing oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur. Uses of the petroleum include as the mainly used as the locomotive power, so land, air or water transportation. Then it is transported with the help of the tankers or by the pipelines. Then very little smoke is emitted and it leaves no ash, can be used up till the last of the drop, and provides the most important lubricating agent and as a raw material for various of the petrochemical products. Then as in the fertilizer, medicine, paint or plastic, and then it is the most important raw material for the chemical industry. So these were few of its uses. Where the distribution of the same is concerned, we have got two fields. One, it is known as the onshore field, the another one that is known as the offshore field. Here the table is given, so just go through that table and go through each and everything, oil companies, states and location. You should know this. Now, first of the oil that was discovered at Makum in northeastern part of Assam, and then the important one of the offshore field, it includes Mumbai High, that is the largest oil producing area of India, then Basin and Aliabad. Then we have the onshore, that is Digboi, Nahar Katia, Rudrasagar and Nunmati in Assam. In Gujarat we have Ankleshwar, then Koyali and Kalol, Navagam. These are the important of the oil fields of India. Now on the next page we have got the map of the petroleum and refineries. So just have a look over here in this map, but go according to the listing of the table and the listing that is given page wise in the book. like list of the major oil fields in India on page number 187. Here properly they have mentioned, and in order they have given out each and every thing, the listing of the oil fields, whether it is the onshore oil field or whether it is the offshore oil field. Now accordingly, onshore oil fields in India, in the northeastern part of India, it includes Digboi, which is the oldest of the oil field of India. So remember it, Digboi. Then we have Nahar, Katia, Maran and Rudrasagar. Rest of the names you go through it. Then onshore in the western India, Ankleshwar, that is the largest one in Kambat Basin. Okay. Then Kalol, Navagam, Kosamba, these are the other one. Then in the southern India, we have Godavari and Kaveri Basin. Then the Indian National Geographic Research Institute, they have identified the gas reserves along the eastern coast in Krishna and Godavari Basin. Then importantly, offshore oil field in Mumbai High region in the Arabian Sea, we have got the largest of the iron rig installed over there, the platform. The name of that platform is the Sagar Samrat. Then oil mining states, they are Maharashtra, Mumbai High region, then Gujarat, Assam, Tamil Nadu and Arunachal Pradesh. These are the important ones. Bombay High or Mumbai High, the oil field, offshore oil field of our country. ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation of our country. This is an organization which is involved in the development and the research of the petroleum producing regions and natural gas producing regions. Now they discovered the oil in the continental shelf area of the coast of Maharashtra and 176 kilometer northwest of Mumbai in 1974. Now the structure containing the oil in Mumbai High and basins is named as the Sagar Samrat. Now here the oil deposit, it is found in the sedimentary rock underneath the earth in the anticline and the synclined limb of the depth of the earth. So there the petroleum, it is stored up. The other offshore fields at the basin and to the south of the Mumbai High is the Aliabhat Island and the another structure that is named as Hira, that is also in operation, and more than 1/3 of the crude oil output of India, it is refined in the refineries of the Trombay. The other oil field, it includes in the Kaveri, Krishna and Godavari basin, and some more is to be found in continental shelf area, Sundarban Delta and the Gulf of Cambay region. Then we have the Reliance Jamnagar Oil Refinery, India. It is the world's largest private sector crude oil refinery, and it is located in Jamnagar in Gujarat, and it is owned and operated by the Reliance Industries. Now where the advantages of the petroleum is concerned, with the help of the modern technologies, the oil can easily be extracted from even beneath the ocean surface. Then it has a very high density. It means that only the small amounts of petroleum can generate a very good amount of the energy, and it can be extracted at a low cost because of the reduced technical and physical effort. Then it is sold cheaper compared to the other sources of the energy. It can easily be transported because it is in the liquid form. Now where the disadvantages of the petroleum is concerned, well, the demand is high all over the world of this energy resource. So the prices, they are ever rising and inflation is caused because of it. Then the environmental pollution, global warming, that is also increasing because of it. Then it is the non-renewable form of energy. So once burned, it cannot be replaced out. Now we have to think about the alternative methods, so whereby these methods of energy can be saved upon, and the non-conventional methods, they can be then utilized.